There's a new Marvels Avengers DLC that's coming out very soon, and the new cinematic trailer has a lot of fans hyped for it. But I have to ask myself the question, is this going to be enough to bring back this game from the depths that it was in? Welcome, all fellow wannabes. Welcome to the channel. I am Gabriel Fest, and I do claim to be the Wannabe Critic. As I said before, there's a brand new Marvels Avengers trailer for the War for Wakanda DLC that's coming out, and I just wanted to give my thoughts as well as ask a couple of questions that I'm sure a lot of people will have on their minds. If this is your first time here, consider subscribing. It would really mean the world. So, let's go over the obvious things about this trailer. The trailer really makes this game look awesome. There's a lot of really cool things. You know, the classic struggle between Black Panther and Claw. It's pretty obvious they took some cues from the MCU. It looks very MCU-esque. It reminds me a lot of the Black Panther movie, as well as, you know, all the stuff from the MCU. I have to ask myself the question, though, you know, are they really just going to do a play-for-play type of scenario where they're literally just going to, you know, pretty much rip off the plot of Black Panther? You know, obviously it's a little bit different since Warmonger isn't in this that we know of so far. Maybe he'll be teased at the end of this DLC. I don't know. But spoilers for the main Avengers campaign, I'll give you 5 seconds. This is your chance. At the end of the trailer, we saw this thing kind of coming out of the vibranium, you know, and I have to ask, like, is that Claw? Is that going to be another Kree Sentry, like what we saw at the end of the first game? What are the motives behind this attack? They were very vague, and who knows, they could be pulling one over on us. You know, it could just be kind of like a classic bait and switch where we think it's going to be about one thing whenever it's really about something bigger, because, I don't know, they kind of made a mockery of Claw in the MCU, so it's going to be kind of hard for me as a player to take him seriously if he is going to be the main bad guy. It's no secret that this game has had a rough history. You know, if you want to see my reviews, you're more than welcome to check out the playlist for those reviews that are right here. I have to ask the question, you know, what long-lasting effects is this DLC going to have? Is this going to completely shape the makeup of Marvel's Avengers going forward? I mean, it looks like we're going to get a new war table, kind of like what we've seen in the previous DLCs. Still, like, is it just going to be like we go to Wakanda and we're done? Or what is it going to look like? I have to wonder if it's going to breathe enough new life into the game to keep not only already engaged players continuing to be engaged, but also, is it going to be enough of a draw to bring new players in? Is it going to be enough? Is there going to be enough content there between all the DLC that's available to keep them satisfied and want to, you know, make them want to keep playing? Because I have enjoyed my time with Marvel's Avengers. I really have. Like, I really think there's an amazing game in there somewhere. Right now, though, it's just okay. So is this going to escalate the game from okay to this game is good? Because as of right now, I don't think that Marvel's Avengers is a good game. I don't. I just want to see long-lasting improvements that keep the ecosystem of this game interesting and make me want to spend time in it, because there are aspects of the game that I do really like a lot. And I think I've said this before, this needs to be like the Taken King that Destiny 1 had. That needs to be this for Marvel's Avengers. Which, there's potential there. You know, 6 or 7 hours of gameplay, you know, with the campaign. Who knows what long-lasting effects it's going to have that keep you coming back to Wakanda. The main campaign had so many highs in it. You know, so the Reassemble campaign, in my opinion, had a lot of really cool moments. And Wakanda is such a cool place, I can't imagine them, you know, squandering the location or the locale and making it feel flat. Where I do think there could be some problems is if they try too hard to go the MCU route. It's pretty obvious, you know, with the crossover skins and stuff like that for, you know, from the movies, that they are pushing for MCU skins and stuff like that. But that's the main thing that I hope, is that it's not just a 1-for-1 of, you know, the MCU story. And be like, oh yeah, that was from the MCU. You know, I want this to feel original. I want this to feel fresh, and I want this to breathe new life into the game. One thing that I'm not sure if people are talking about, but this is just my personal opinion, this DLC has to slay. It has to be amazing. Because in a way, yeah, I mean, more DLCs are supposed to be coming out, but by the time Spider-Man rolls around, if that ever happens, this DLC could decide the fate of what happens with this game. Now, I'm not saying that, nothing crazy, that miracles can't happen and all this other stuff. Obviously, we've seen success stories with No Man's Sky and other places, other games. But I feel like those success stories and those comeback stories don't happen all that often. And I mean, I guess if Crystal Dynamics is willing to throw a ton of money at it, I guess anything can happen with enough money. But is the soul going to be there? I want this game to be what it was, promised. I want this game to feel like what it was promised, and I want it to not be a mess. I think they've made good changes and going in the right direction with certain changes, and the next gen version of the game is awesome. Like, it plays really well, no loading times. So I don't know. I want to continue to see that good faith keep on moving forward, and I just want this game to be like fun. I want it to be fun always. I don't want to have to like be like, oh yeah, and I get it. No game is perfect, but I don't want to like love 4 or 5 things and then equally hate 4 or 5 things. So I think that the DLC does look good, and I think there is potential for this DLC to help this game, turn around. But what do you think? What are your questions? What are you wanting to see out of this new DLC? I mean, what do you think is going to happen? I mean, let me know down in the comments below. If you stuck around for the whole video, I want to say thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. And before I go, check this out. Well, whatever possessed you to check out any of the content that you saw today, I just want to say thank you so much for doing so. If you check the description down below, you'll see that there's a variety of different projects that I'm associated with. This is Wannabe Critic Productions after all. So I just wanted to say, if you enjoyed what you saw today, consider giving some of those other projects a chance as well. There's a lot of stuff that I'm a part of that that I do. If you were here for me or for someone else that you saw today, again, just thank you for checking it out, and I hope to see you again. But until next time, I'm Gabriel Fast, and I'll always be the Wannabe Critic.